What's up, everybody? And if you guys are wondering what this what if, or you have not read the title already, this is what if Batman was in Dragon Ball. Now, I did a community check on which what if you guys wanted, and you voted for mostly what if Batman was in Dragon Ball. Now, if you guys are wondering what Batman am I trying to pick, well, I'm gonna picking Batman from the movies and comics. Probably this is a mixed variation between both. So yeah, if you're wondering, Batman would not be born in the Dragon Ball universe. No. He'll be teleported there. So yeah, if you're wondering, some accident would happen in DC now, practically causing Batman to be teleported into the Dragon Ball universe. He'll be teleported by the time of Goku being a kid and by the time of the Red Ribbon Army. Before that time, of course, Batman will be confused and eventually will look around. Of course, Batman, knowing that he must regain his wealth since he knows that he is in another world. Eventually, of course, after a couple of months, Bruce Wayne, or should I say Batman himself, is able to practically make his company WayneTech to be a lot more actually successful in this universe, be almost as successful, if not even more, than a Capsule Corp. Eventually decided to make a deal with Capsule Corp and eventually work together as business partners. Of course, Bruce does keep his identity as Batman as a secret, but he decides to do train under some of the martial artists that are in this universe. Since Batman wants to learn their style of fighting styles, and eventually he most likely would have met Kid Goku by the time. Of course, Batman would have researched Goku just like he did with Superman, and eventually he was able to find out that Goku has weaknesses to needles, so he would keep that in check. Of course, he does see the potential that Goku possesses. Even he can see that he's an alien, yet he's powerful and pure-hearted. But of course, Batman does have a contingency plan for almost anything, so that's why he's preparing for Goku as well. Batman continues to also make new gadgets from this universe and eventually grow even stronger. He continues to train, and due to his body practically adapting to his new world, you most likely make his body a lot stronger than he would have been previously. Now, I'm gonna give Batman a power level of 75, since he's incredibly strong and much stronger than any average human, and he's a lot more skilled as well. So yeah, if you're wondering, Batman, most of you guys didn't actually want Batman to have ki, but I think that is actually something that he most likely would have learned, since we all know that Batman can practically use contingency energy, which is kind of like ki, but a much more complicated level. So ki will most likely be the same as well. Of course, Batman would have not learned how to fly just yet, but he will most likely learn how to manipulate the energy around him. He will most likely learn how to shoot ki blasts, but more than that, he most likely will not learn as much. Of course, Batman will also would have used drones so he can see through Goku, just like Dro did with Goku as well. Of course, gathering data to Goku, and eventually he most likely would have gathered data on Piccolo Jr. as well. Brain also continues to plan for Piccolo himself as well. Batman will eventually learn that Piccolo's species can only survive through water as most, alongside some food, but they also need water as much, since if they are in a much more heated environment, they'll most likely die in a couple of days or so. So that's why Batman is keeping that in check as well. Practically, Batman is preparing contingency plans for big threats in the future. He also would have made some suits for himself, even upgrading his old suit to actually increase his power level. Now, if you guys are wondering, due to Batman training with Ki and has also been training, he most likely would have reached a power level at least 100 by that time. Of course, Batman was able to meet with Goku and eventually show his identity as Batman, since he does kind of trust Goku and sees that Goku is a good person, just like he did with Superman. Of course, he's still aware of Goku, but he has to just realize his identity, so Goku does not have suspicions about him. Of course, Goku is kind of confused with who Bruce is, or Batman, but he decides to accept him. Eventually, Goku actually spars with Batman a lot. They both spar and eventually even go to Kami's lookout. And eventually, Batman is able to learn about the time chamber, which is a dimension where time passes differently, which is one day outside is practically 1 year inside the time chamber, which is impressive and pretty good idea for Bruce to know. Of course, both Goku and Batman train a lot more, but Batman also helps Goku to take care of his son. Of course, Gohan does see Batman kind of like his uncle, but he just calls him Uncle Bruce, since Batman does not want his identity to be revealed just yet. Batman is also able to learn how to fly thanks to Goku, and is also growing a lot stronger. If wondering, Goku's power would have jumped a little bit higher. Also, Batman would have created a suit that almost like increase his power level by at least 2 to maybe 5 times. Now, the power levels like Goku and Batman would possess after the training of the 5 years time skip, I would say that Goku is still stronger than Batman, but he's kind of weaker still than Raditz. But he has a higher power level than he would have been in original. having a power level of at least 750, which is a lot higher than his original canon power level. While Batman is second behind Goku, he still has incredible amounts of key control to himself, with Batman possessing a power level of 350. Piccolo will possess a power level of at least 500 because of him knowing about Batman, so he most likely would have trained a lot more. Of course, Batman does have his Mechana suit, or his Mecha suit, which is kind of much more smaller than his other Mega suits, but it increases power levels by 5, making his power level to be at least 1,850, or wait, wrong math, 1,650. Yeah, that power level. So basically, he'll be stronger than Raditz if he uses this suit, but of course, this suit will drain a lot of his ki while utilizing it. So yeah. Also, Batman has made most of his suits be ki-based, but he's also learned about the Dragon Balls and has also do research on them. Bruce, of course, wants to collect them so he can practically make a wish, so he can practically have armors who can withstand even planetary destruction, which Bruce thinks it will be pretty good since he knows that some of his armors will need much more tougher materials. And he thinks that Shenron will maybe be able to grant this wish. But of course, he decides to keep that in a check, so he has to. Of course, whereas does arrive, he then decides to fight Goku and Batman. Of course, he still knocks down Goku, but it's not as bad as the original. But Goku, Batman, and Piccolo decide to team up, with Batman being reluctant on teaming up with Piccolo, but Goku just tells Batman to trust in Piccolo at least this once, with Batman deciding to agree with Goku's judgment, since Batman knows that Goku is a pure-hearted person and he will do anything to protect the innocents. Goku, Batman, and Piccolo will decide to face off against Raditz. Batman will put up his mecha suit and then fight against Raditz. With his power level being higher than Raditz, he's able to overpower the scene, while Goku and Piccolo are able to free Gohan. Of course, Raditz uses his grade form and fights against both of them. Both Goku and Batman are on the back while alongside Piccolo. Piccolo uses his gigantification form, but it's not enough as he's beat down by Raditz. He's on the verge of death, but Batman is able to take the blow, seemingly almost dying, but he cuts off Raditz's tail just in the nick of time. Raditz, before he shrinks fully, stomps on Bruce, seemingly killing him. Goku roars in anger as his power level increases. Seems that Goku goes into some variation of a Super Saiyan, but instead he goes into flawless Super Saiyan. In this form, Goku beats down on Grade Raditz when he's shrinking, but eventually he drops out of it and calls Raditz down full Nelson while Piccolo powers up a special beam cannon, firing it through the chest of the two brothers, eventually killing both of them. Eventually, everyone knows that Bruce and Goku have died, so they decide to rather use their Dragon Balls. While Piccolo still trains Gohan like in the original, but Gohan is actually much more motivated thanks to his uncle and Goku. Since Bruce did actually inspire Gohan to be much stronger and to protect himself, and Gohan is actually much more motivated to train with Piccolo than the original one when he was against it. So instead, Gohan would have been training really harshly, but also would be training himself as well, meaning that by the time Gohan would actually be sparring with Piccolo at least 3 months early, meaning that Piccolo actually gained a lot more gains in this timeline. While Goku and Bruce would have tried Snake Way. Because of Goku dying, he most likely would have gone Zenkai, pushing his power level to at least 850, while Bruce would stay in the same power level. Now both of them would race and get to Snake Way. Of course, they both would have able to reach King Kai's planet because of Goku being practically pushed by Bruce, so he most likely they would have arrived at least a couple of months earlier. So yeah, but that would be no issue for both of them, as Bruce is an incredibly pretty creative person alongside the incredible battle genius, just like Goku is. So both of them were able to pick up on some of the techniques of the King Kai, like the Spirit Bomb, and Bruce was actually able to create his own variation of the Solar Flare, known as a Dark Flare, which unlike the Solar Flare practically does not blind the person, but it literally makes everything go black, practically making a dark cover because of Bruce's energy. Bruce's energy is not like a normal energy. His energy is kind of like black and white, so that's why Bruce's energy is much more different than anything else. Of course, Bruce does continue to train and increase his power level as he continues to train with Goku. Both of them train under King Kai, and eventually they're both able to learn Kaioken. It seems that Bruce is much more creative with Goku with using the Kaioken, mastering the lower levels, while Goku is trying to push to higher levels. But then Goku has to follow Bruce's roots, and eventually they both were able to increase their power levels a lot. Now, these are the power levels of the current Z-Fighters from this timeline. The humans are ranging to a power levels of 1,000 to at least 2,000, and Piccolo and Gohan are a lot stronger, with Gohan being at the power level of 5,000 and Piccolo being at the power level of 7,000. So yeah, while Batman and Goku are actually the strongest of all of them, with Batman being strong in Piccolo having a power level of 9,000, while Goku has a staggering power level of 18,000. Yes, Goku is twice stronger than Batman, but if only why Batman is at 9,000 is because of his mastery over his ki control, which makes his power level go a lot higher. Of course, his physical strength is nothing comparable to Goku's, but in comparison to our ki control, Batman has the edge on that. But Goku is still incredible battle genius like Batman himself, so they're most likely almost even. Now for the Kaioken levels, both of them can use Kaioken times 10 at short bursts, and they can use times 5 to times 6 with a little bit of strength to their bodies, while times 8 is kind of like times 3 Kaiyokens to them, so yeah. Both of them were a lot stronger, and eventually they were revived by everyone as they crossed Snake Way by the time. Both of them were able to arrive on the battle scene, assuming the Saints are here, ready to fight. But Batman can actually sense that something is not right. He can sense a familiar presence. He doesn't know why, but he feels it's familiar. He doesn't know why or how, but he then senses someone laughing. Batman looks around as he then spots the Joker, as he laughs maniacally, as everyone is shocked. Vijaya and Nappa are of course confused with who the Joker is, but that is the end of this part. Hope you guys enjoyed this part. See you guys in the next one. Sayonara.